Welcome back to my channel. Today, in the age where sensitive snowflakes get offended by every word in the dictionary, we are now going to watch Dr. Phil as he discusses with the audience canceled phrases. I'm like the lunacy. Will it ever end? Why are people so sensitive? I am like, holy crap. I remember Eminem said the most offensive things and we loved him for it. But apparently now we can't do that because that means you're a bigot. But without further ado, let's get into it.
We have a graphic of words or phrases that now you can't say. You can't say that. I mentioned a few of them before.
We got first world problems. Really? Grandfathered in? I didn't know they use that terminology outside the military. I didn't know that was like a thing they used in like the civilian world. Mom and dad. Wow. Why? Peanut gallery. There are some peanuts people. There's some crazy ass motherfuckers. I literally had someone put shit on my car because they didn't like what I had to say about Biden laptop matters. Those people are the peanut gallery. Ghetto. We definitely got some ghetto ass people out there, and and ghetto actually was a Jewish was a term that was during the Jews, I believe, the ghettos where they lived. If I'm not mistaken, tone deaf. How is that offensive? Everything the Biden administration has been doing, regardless of what people are telling them, the people that voted them in, their constituents that voted them in, it's like they're tone deaf. They're not listening to them. Brainstorm. How is that? What? Spook? Jip? Blindsided? Blind spot? I really like the actual shows Blindsided. That was a great Blindside. That was a great, or Blind Spot. That was a really good movie. Really good TV show. You guys should definitely check it out. I think it might be on Hulu. Or Amazon Prime. But it's a good TV show. Pow Wow Tribe. Oh my Lord Jesus. What is this world coming to?
Just curious. Some of these maybe are obvious, but if you know why some of these are on the list now.
Mom and dad, I see why that would be up there.
So why would mom and dad be up there?
I have a daughter with another woman, and when it's being taught in school that's just the norm, that it's just mom and dad, it kind of offends us because we are lesbians, No.
It should not offend you, okay? Explain to your daughter how she was made. Was she made with an egg and another egg? No, she was made with an egg and a sperm, which comes from a man and a woman, which in a normal society, if they're together, that's called mom and dad. Okay, I don't give a fuck whether or not you're offended because you're a fucking lesbian. You chose to live that lifestyle. But you're not going to change society because it offends me. My daughter needs to know that she has two moms. But she didn't come from two moms. She came from a man and she came from a woman. You retards.
We come from the community and it makes us feel like we're not important enough to be called mom or parents.
So should I stop saying that?
No, not
because
you.
You're mom and mom?
No, not you per se. I'm just saying as far as it's being taught.
Anybody. If that was our experience, yours is mom and mom, I'm happy.
You can't pick and choose who can and cannot say, be allowed to say mom and dad, okay? Like, dude, in general, if you have a mom and a mom, people will be like, okay, yeah, they're lesbian parents. Okay, no one gives a shit about that. And why is it all of a sudden now, in the year 2022, that this is such a big deal? I'm like, man, this is why, like, so many people I know, they're like, man, we should have never been able to allow, lesbians or gay people to get married or to even adopt. Because then you want to start changing things. You want to start changing the things. You just want to start changing society so that you can fit in. No. How about you just do you? go about your life, treat everybody normal and the same, and no one's gonna give two shits or give two fucks, and they'll treat you just like a normal human being. Why is that so hard for people to actually comprehend? I don't know why that's so hard for people to actually comprehend, because that's how I go about living my life. I don't want someone to call me, stupid names and all this other stuff, so I try to act accordingly and not do the same to others. I only start doing that when you start doing that to me. It's called, I don't know, you reap what you sow. Fuck.
Mom and mom, but why would mom and dad be on the don't say list?
It's,
Why not add mom and mom?
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Or
get your
add
point.
dad and
Exactly.
dad. But why is mom and dad offensive to your sensibilities?
Exactly.
I mean, to be honest, because it's being taught to my daughter and she doesn't have a father figure. She sees two mothers.
That's
And
your
so every
problem.
time she
You
sees
deal
someone
with
that has
it.
Dad in there, you can see a little bit in her eyes. It's like, well, what's going on? over
You
there?
did you did this to her. Why should anyone else have to freaking sit there and take this bullshit from you? You did this. These are your decisions, okay? Your decisions are affecting your daughter, not everyone else. You did this.
Have a dad. So it's a sensibility issue on the child's part as well. So I'm looking out for my daughter.
Fuck your
In that
feelings.
sense.
Well, isn't that a conversation that you should be having with your daughter anyway,
Oh,
so
we
that
have.
she doesn't
We-
take offense to terms
We
like this?
definitely have had that conversation, but in the same sense, there is an accountability for the school as well. I feel like when they're putting that inside of our homework and stuff like that, it's making the kid feel a certain type of way.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it is the heterosexism of it all. Mom and dad are not canceled phrases. I can assure you, in schools all across the United States, school leaders are sending memos and teachers are sending memos home with their children about mom and dad. I think what we're missing here is the opportunity to be decidedly and deliberately inclusive of all parents.
I agree. I would say that of all these words on the list, the only thing that I've heard be talked about in my entire life being canceled, and it's not canceled, is the word tribe. It's about the rhetoric changing. We're not failing our kids these days at all. We're just changing. We're progressing, and we're allowing us to become more inclusive of a new generation of people. I'm glad that your parents were married for 50 years, but something is now changing, and we have to account for that.
No, we
Regardless-
should not
regardless
have
of
to
your
account for
skin color,
that.
regardless of
No.
your race. Why would you take offense to any of these terms? Or, well, my thought is, regardless of
Sorry. No, society can change all the time. Doesn't mean that once it changed, you need to get rid of the old. Because it's like every single time I hear these types of people talk, and I hate, I don't want to sit here and say there's like a certain type. You look at them and you're like, oh yeah, I know that's so fucked up to say it. But when you do look at certain individuals, you do kind of get some of their political views just off the way that they look and the way that they act. But look, you should not start replacing the past, because once you start replacing the past, it's the whole thing. You're bound to repeat some of the same mistakes because you were so wound up in your whole narcissistic behaviors and your tendencies to just want to erase everything and make it into your image instead of just embracing everything. That also includes things that you do not like, things you do not want to be a part of. And it's like, I don't get these people. I will never understand these people. People didn't like you because of your lifestyle choices in the past. I honestly didn't understand those people. I'm like, why do you care what the fuck they do in the bedroom? You're not there, right? So why should you care? They should be allowed into society and have a normal life. But now that these people have a normal life, they want to tell people who are heterosexual that you guys are wrong. You guys are this. And there's that whole saying that those who were once oppressed, once they get power, they become the most tyrannical, authoritarian motherfuckers I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And they tend to be worse to the individuals who actually pave the way for them to be included into society. So my thing is that those who are, of that LGBTQ, community, Why don't you be accepting and tolerant of those who are not heterosexuals? Because, who are heterosexuals? Because it was those heterosexuals who didn't care about, your lifestyle and were tolerant to you. They were the ones that paved the way for you to even be accepted into society. Okay, you were fighting your battles, and also those who were advocating for you who were heterosexuals were also fighting the same battle for you. Now you want to fucking cancel them instead of just being more inclusive? How hard is it for you to sit there and write a letter to the the education board or the education board to have them include mom and mom and include dad and dad, not cancel mom and dad? Like, why is that so hard for you to sit down and fucking write to get your point across? Because to be honest, you don't want it that way. You want to see your side on the top and everybody else on the bottom because you for so long felt that you were disenfranchised. You know what I gotta say to you guys? Fuck you. You better stop, or else a lot of people are just going to be turned off from your community. They are not going to want to have anything to do with you. Keep doing this and you're going to push people away. But I digress. We're going to go back now.
Skin color, regardless of your race, why would you take offense to any of these terms or words?
I'll give you one.
You know what spook is?
Master bedroom. Here's a historical lesson.
Stop though. Shut the fuck up.
Bedroom is the bedroom where Master slept,
I understand.
where he raped enslaved black women.
I never, ever, ever thought about the master bedroom as that. Who the do you know how psychotic you've got to be to think that, oh my God, I don't want to call this the master bedroom because this is where the master lived and this is where he raped, my ancestors. No, I thought it was called the master bedroom when I was younger just because it was bigger. That's all. But, then again, my mom didn't teach me to look at, people like this. Like I said, my parents were definitely no slave to my education when it came to understanding my past. But holy crap, to literally compare, the master bedroom, the terminology master bedroom in today's society with that of, oh my God, this is where the master owned your slaves and you were a bed wench. I'm like, come on. That's like reaching, bruh. That's reaching. Like, I just can't. I know this is not anything funny, and I know that shit happened in the past. I'm not trying to degrade it and say that, that never happened. Not at all. But to try to cancel master bedroom in today's society, now I'm always going to be thinking about that shit. But to cancel the word master bedroom because of that event, when most of us don't even look at the master bedroom from that standpoint, it's ridiculous. Like I said, I didn't know the reason why it was called the master bedroom was because of that. I thought it was called the master bedroom because it's usually the biggest room, bedroom size in the house. So I guess that's how like I said in other videos, the half glass empty concept, some people, the way that they think, it's very telling.
Black women who were enslaved were his servants. As we come to understand the historical origins of the word, I think we can agree that was an awful place. We probably shouldn't call it that. Can we call it something else, like the primary bedroom or the main bedroom in a house?
I'm gonna call it master bedroom because if I ever get a husband, I'm like, hey.
I don't want to call it the place where master raped my great-great-great-grandma.
I understand, but my point I'm trying to make is that being offended by what somebody says or by a certain term is a choice that you make. You have a choice to not be offended. You have a choice to not let that affect you.
But you also have the choice to not use the word.
People are free to say whatever they want to say within reason, but
absolutely,
you're free to respond and react to that however you choose. And I think being offended by something is a choice that you make. You can choose to simply ignore the reference that it has, and to not let it affect you, and to not let it make you angry, and to not let it make you sad, and to
That's
not.
true and easy. I mean, we had to deal with it most of our lives, and our grandparents getting called the N-word all the time. We had to finally be able to choose not to let it affect us, but it's hard.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and
Okay, yes. Like, when I see how sensitive our society is today, I just laugh because our ancestors had it way worse. Way worse. And a lot of them made their lives a lot of them had really successful lives economically. There was a lot more families back in the day, and they didn't let them phase them. They just, yeah, it probably got to you, but they made sure when they had their children, and we've lost this, art to actually teach our children that, hey, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Okay? Like, we need to make our children more resilient, make people more resilient, because it's this bullying and this peer pressure and all this other crap that's going to keep you down. If you let every single thing get to you, you're never going to get anywhere. You're just going to fucking stay stuck, and then when your life doesn't go according to plan, you're going to blame everybody for your problems. That's usually how it goes. And we all know the type of people who do all of those whose lives haven't gone in the way and the direction that they would have imagined. They always blame people for their problems, and they all come from this type of mentality. And it's just you're just sensitive fuckers. You're sensitive fuckers. Like I said before, how the hell we go from listening to Eminem, loving how he would rape his mom and fuck, the cops and all this other shit, to now being so fucking sensitive about literally everything. Like, I mean, some of these rap songs like Bop Bop Chicken, oh my god. Y'all, Ludacris made a freaking empire, pretty much, from just being having such profane and ludicrous words in his rap songs that made us all laugh. A lot of it being actually true, and putting it in songs. People didn't want to actually listen to it. Like, stuff that I wouldn't say people didn't want to actually listen to. A lot of people listened to it because no one would actually want to talk about this stuff in real life, even though it was happening all around us. He just observed everything and put it in his songs and made them extremely offensive as fuck, and people loved it. That's why he had the name Ludacris for a reason. But I haven't heard Ludacris in a while, and Eminem has gone soft. So I'm like, I really wish we had individuals who didn't care as much and said what was on their mind and wasn't so always politically correct. Because, in my opinion, we have more standards when people would get more, when people set these offensive things. Obviously, you didn't want to be like the people that they would talk about. So you had more standards about yourself. We have more standards in our society. Now, people like to get called hoes now. Be like, but, whatever. That's just my 2 cents on this whole, getting sensitive over, over words and wanting to cancel phrases simply because they don't fit into your little niche or whatever. But anyways, thanks and have a nice day.